Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is about TNA Impact spoilers for this coming Thursday being, let's see, today's Tuesday, 15th, November 15th, 2012. But first, some TNA news and some other wrestling news around the world, being Matt Hardy filmed a promo for his match against Shane Douglas at the Extreme Rising iPay-per-view, which takes place this Saturday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can view the promo at youtube.com/watch V equals P capital I O S capital C M O X capital Q capital P capital Y ampersand SNS equals TW. Hardy has made a lot of improvements on his promos as of late. The show will be available on iPay-per-view via www.event-er-11-17-12.html. In Your Head Radio with Matt Hardy, hosted by Jack E. Jones and 1 Inch Biceps, recapped by Vic Schiavone. Show available at iYHWrestling.com. He talks about when he wrestled in June for Extreme Rising the first time. He was unsure how the fans would react to him. No, I was pretty sure I was, and I think I pretty much had it to a T. I'm pretty good at being on the pulse of how wrestling fans are going to be. I know it was going to be a very mixed bag, but because wherever I go, there's going to be a diehard Matt Hardy Boys fans, which are younger kids or people that have followed us through our WWE career. They're going to be there, and they're going to be supportive regardless of whatever. But then the diehard ECW and Extreme niche fans, because I'm not an Extreme original or an ECW original, I knew those people, it was going to be an uphill battle. And it's one of those things in time, only you earn their respect, especially when you walk into their promotion. And on your debut match, you're in the main event against Jerry Lynn, who was one of the ECW icons. I knew it was going to be a mixed bag for sure. The people that were diehard Extreme Wrestling fans, they gave me a hard time, which was great. And my fans were there cheering, so it's okay. As long as I'm invoking emotion from people, it's fine. I'll channel it in the appropriate way in the ring. As long as they're entertained, I'm invoking emotion, I'm good. Were there people that didn't want some of the ECW guys to succeed when they would come over to the WWF? I think so. The thing that made ECW that was so good, Paul Heyman was such a genius booker, promoter, because he highlighted everyone's strengths. I mean, he would take whatever the best qualities were about someone, and he would keep pushing that, and pushing that again, and to get everything they could out of it. And that's what gets characters over. That's what gets characters or wrestlers who connect with the crowd emotionally. Public Enemy, they had their deal. They were hip-hop gangsters, and they did the hand motion. They would put people through tables and then ended up being a huge act. When they came into the WWE and were forced to wrestle a couple of matches, I know there were some guys who didn't like them. They ultimately had a match with the Acolytes, which was very, very ugly. Taz was another guy who was over huge in ECW. He came to WWE. You can see that never translated. Once again, they took away from playing to his strengths and what his character was built around. And the examples keep popping up over and over. If you look at Paul Heyman's ECW originally, Sandman, he came out and he would drink beer and he would cane people. And he was over like crazy and people bought tickets to see him. 911 was another example of a guy who was very limited as far as being a complete wrestler overall, but he became a huge star there. He was really over. At WWE sometimes they expect people to be more well-rounded performer, 360 degrees, and be able to do everything. And my thought is if it's business and you're trying to make money, you want your acts to be over as they possibly can be. And if that means like protecting them in some areas that they're weak at, then why not do it? Because it's your investment in the first place. But that's not always how WWE crew thinks. Thus, John Cena. They only allow him to do certain things. Other interview topics he discussed. Does he think there is a particular reason Shane Douglas is coming back from the semi-retirement to wrestle him? And if he and Jeff had gotten a shot with WWE, would they have signed with ECW? What does he mean? What does he mean when he says that professional wrestling is a black sheep? What company caters more to the fans, WWE or TNA? Does he have more motivation right now to prove that he is still a great performer after some of the things that has happened in the last couple of years? The interview with Matt closed with another mention of the Extreme Rising show on November 17th. For more info, go to www.extremerising.com. Matt also provided his website address, MattHardyBrand.com, for anyone interested in contacting him and or buying merchandise. And don't forget, on YouTube, the Hardy Show. The following matches are advertised for Extreme Rising, the iPay-per-view, Remember November iPay-per-view event, which takes place on November 17th in Monica, Pennsylvania, at the Golden Dome. Of course, you got Shane Douglas versus Matt Hardy, Sabu versus Devin Storm, Jerry Lynn versus Homicide, FBI, Full-Blooded Italians versus Blackout, or BLK out, Bestia versus Fakeade, Perry Saturn versus Luke Hawks, Stevie Richards versus Papa Don. Additional matches will be announced. The promotion is being advertised with Raven, Rhino, Sandman, New Jack, the Blue Meanie from the BWO. I wonder if Supernova is going to be there. Simon Dean. Balls Mahoney, Christian York, who just recently signed with TNA. Jay Bradley, Marco Cordova, Joel, the quintessential stud muffin of the ECW, Gertner, and Robbie Marino. For ordering info, go to wnnlive.com. Now, back to some TNA news. AJ Styles has signed a publishing deal with VIP Inc. Publishing to write an autobiography. Styles' autobiography will cover his life from both in and out of the wrestling ring. And reads a press release. His autobiography will highlight being brought up in a military family that struggled with poverty and alcoholism. Styles is a devoted Christian and has stated on many occasions that it's God first and family second. This autobiography will have his fans gasping for more, as they will be able to appreciate Styles' life from his severe beginnings to his TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Read the official statement at VIPIncpublishing.com. Styles will have plenty of time to write the book now that he's not allowed to challenge for the TNA title until October next year, 2013. Okay, that's not exactly fair, since he will be obviously continue to wrestle for TNA during that time. Advertised for this coming Thursday's Impact Wrestling TV show, number one contender to determine the TNA Knockouts title. It will be a battle royal for the Knockouts. TNA previously announced that the new number one contender would be determined, but they didn't say how until announcing it on Twitter a few hours ago. One can only assume that the winner of the Battle Royal will challenge Tara at Final Resolution pay-per-view on December 9th. And the returning wrestler from her injury, none other than Mickie James, will be in the match. And now for your Impact Wrestling spoilers for this coming Thursday, November the 15th. Courtesy of WrestlingInc.com, Rob Van Dam defeated Kid Cash to retain the X Division title. Jesse Goddard's from Big Brother defeated Eric Young, which might be his last couple of nights in TNA. Kurt Angle and Eric Bischoff beat Devon and a masked member of Aces and Eights. Mickie James wins the 5-women Battle Royal able to earn a TNA Knockouts title match. Bobby Roode defeated James Storm to take his #1 contender spot at Final Resolution. Note, earlier in the evening, Storm agreed to put his #1 contender status on the line earlier in the show. Aces and Eights attacked Magnus and left him lying. Thank you, Caitlin. Surprise, sucker. Now can you dig that, sucker? Okay, well, back to it. Storm agreed to put his #1 contender status on the line earlier in the show. Aces and Eights attacked Magnus and left him lying, which AJ Styles addressed the fact that he is unable to challenge for the TNA title until Bound for Glory. And that ends your TNA taping for this week. And the results as well. Thank you for viewing. Peace out. God bless.